Druid. Yo, what's up, Druid?
Cool Rich 101. So happy to be here. An absolutely amazing tournament so far, and on such a nice day as well. Even though we've got some thunderstorms here in Toronto, it is raining here, Tower, but that's quite all right because we're doing it for a good cause.
I mean, yeah, of course. But being just outside of Toronto, it's actually a very sunny and hot day for me, as I am sweating sitting indoors. But here we get those two matches started off is the Onibakus versus the Redditors. The Onibaku, of course, playing for the Juliet's Place Family Shelter, which provides emergency shelter and support services to women and children experiencing domestic abuse. And the Redditors playing for Fetch and Release, which is a volunteer-run dog rescue, which is dedicated to saving dogs all around the world, especially in the Greater Toronto area. Definitely two amazing causes, and as I am babbling on, the first fight has already ended, which is a bit unfortunate, but I guess you can get the show on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks like we got a pause already here in chat. Not sure what's happening quite yet. Maybe someone lost. Oh, Lav PC froze. But yeah, just to sort of recap just what happened there. Looks like the Redditors came in with a nice juicy teleport as well as Onibaku, but the Redditors just took over the entire map, and they just got the picks first, and that's what it really came down to. I was too enthralled with all of the amazing charities that we're playing for that it was hard to pay attention.
I mean, speaking of charities, and the prize for going to those charities, we have two donations that came in, one during the break and one while we were babbling on, or actually three while we were babbling on here while the match was going on. But we have $6.90 donated from Anonymous, which is very nice. And Captain Ruddy donated $16.67, with Stein topping it off with another $22.22. Definitely amazing donations for an amazing cause. Remember, all money and proceeds go to charity, and all 50+ members of this tournament have already donated to the prize pool. So everything goes a long way here.
Yeah, it looks like we are back in the match as well, where looks like the Redditors have just set up shop here in the tower. Blank rocking that monkey's been so well known for as well. And Sammy G has swapped over to the Pharah, getting some of that aerial pressure in. Let's see if we can get some damage into that group. Oh, very close to picking off Rigel, and he commits to it. Big pick going off here for Onibaku. This might be their entrance here, but they got to deal with that very tricky Tracer. But they got Shogun Raz on there as well, but picks coming off here for the Redditors. And it looks like they'll be able to hold it.
I mean, Blank definitely getting some opening picks there, but J-Prod and Zoroaster both diving into the backline and getting 2 or 3 big picks. And now the Onibaku are just kind of forced to play this neutral game right outside of the point. And I guess the point is the Redditors' domain.
Yeah, and we've got a Pulse Bomb ready online with J-Prod, so keep an eye out for that. And a lot of other ultimates as well coming online.
At least for the side of the Redditors, all 6 ults coming online. With Samiji's only ult coming online, which is the Barrage, picking off 3, and J-Prod the Pulse Bomb getting 2.
Yeah.
Dr. Senso with the huge block, and I'm kind of taking over Druid's role here as the gun.
That's quite right. You kind of get into a rhythm of it all, and it's really just 2 left on point here. Dr. Sensible and Old Stoneface, and the event they'll keep the point 80% up and running.
I mean, yeah, definitely like just some huge micro plays coming out here from both teams. And the Redditors just have this rock solid defense on point that the Onibaku just cannot seem to break somehow, no matter how many picks they get. Speaking of picks, Stein is now off the map straight onto this little town down beneath. The fight has started roaring on the point.
Yeah, Redditors dropping the beat as well as a great boop from Sammy G. Blank, busting out those giant monkey arms. Gets a nice friendly bubble as well to keep himself alive and topped up. And it looks like Onibaku will be able to take and flip over the point. 99% for the Redditors. A very dominant first half here on Legion Tower.
Yeah, I mean, Blank and Sammy really on the same page there as they both dive at the same time onto the same targets, and that massive clean damage from Blank and the AoE damage coming out here from Sammy just absolutely wiped the house for the Onibaku there.
Yeah, Onibaku's also got a lot of ultimates coming on. Here comes the Graviton Surge as well, and then the Monkey of Blank diving in as well. But we've got another back dive here as well from Zoroaster, but it won't be enough, as it looks like that fight is close to being over. Not too many ults spent there. Sammy G and Shogunaz both still have their DPS ultimates for the next fight.
And just as the alt bank is huge, so is the dono bank. As we got another $6.69 from Jizzy B. That is very nice. So many nice donations coming here, if you know what I mean. And speaking of nice, that's actually nice barrage coming out from Sammy G, getting 2 early picks into that fight. And the fight's already over.
Yeah, already before it even started. And we did get some swaps here. Zoroaster is now rocking that hog, hoping to get like an early pick before he gets into the fight. Maybe a bit of damage here onto Blank. Just very closely missed that hook. And it looks like Redditors will have to regroup here if they want to really get into. And the rest of Onibaku they went straight to point. That's where they're going to fight here.
Yeah,
as the teleporter comes in. DC Hammer with a great nade as well. Everyone is purple and not the rain type. Here comes the rest of the gang, but that is
not the rain type. We love to see it. I mean, Zoro being the last one alive here. The pig just kind of has to back out. Zoro, I don't think he's gonna make it out alive. No, he is not. As a stun from Shogun just keeps him in track, or keeps him down. And Rigel now on the McCree here.
Well, this is last fight territory. They got to get onto this point pronto.
My. Yeah, it's 97%. The Redditors got to get on, and the boop from Sammy G ends up helping Old Stoneface touch the point. Now J-Prod and Old Stoneface on the point as the fight starts to rage on. Ultimates being popped from both sides.
Yeah, J-Prod and Stein, those are big opening picks in order to flip it over. The Valkyrie from the Mercy is also keeping everyone alive. Maybe some damage boost here and there, but that's not stopping Dr. Sensible. Sammy G does find J-Prod in all of that. Here comes the whole hog. And it is going to be finishing off this fight. Looks like Blank in chat says, I fat fingered Primal. Goodness gravy. Very, very close fight here as the Redditors take the first point on Lijiang Tower.
I mean, definitely, what a close match there. 99 to 99, coming down to the skin of their teeth. I mean, I didn't think they'd be able to reverse that point there. Like, just that small little touch from Old Stoneface at the last second was able to get an entire fight win off of it, and it didn't. Usually when you touch point at the last second, it just ends up turning into a staggered fight where your team loses, but the Redditors managed to turn that around really well. And some swaps coming in here from the side of the Redditors as well, with Zoro staying on the Monkey, but Dr. Sensible now on the ball, and Rigel on the Echo. Definitely an interesting matchup here. There's going to be some Sky Duels, and Shogun actually pulling out the Sim to get a TP onto point, I assume, as both teams start funneling their way onto site.
Yeah, they want to get that speed in as soon as possible. They want to get on that point. They want to set up shop very similar how the Redditors did. But the fight begins opening up. Purples all around here. Dr. Sensible, though, finding the first pick into Shogun Raz. Both tanks here on the Redditors, on Onibaku are purple. But that's not going to stop Rigel from getting those stinky bomb clusters right onto Lav. J-Prod finishing off Sammy G in the sky as well. This has got the Redditors written all over it. Great job by them to secure that point.
I mean, honestly, usually you use the Sim to get to point first, but in this case, just having that Lucio speed boost allowed the Redditors to actually set up shop first, which actually impacted that fight a lot, as the Redditors had the entirety of the point to use as their cover and their playing ground, whereas the Onibaku just barely managed to get on.
Yeah, it's almost like you need that Lucio as well to get you there even quicker.
I mean, I'm surprised. This is the boop map, so not seeing a Lucio on the side of Onibaku definitely surprises me.
Yeah, Onibaku wrapping all the way onto the right side. Blank dropping that shield just for that entrance as it keeps on going off. And the Echo of Rigel just getting into the back, getting a bunch of damage. But Shogun is finding the first pick on the Zoroaster, and the fight continues on. But Dr. Sensible with a great boop on the DC Hammer. That is unfortunate. They are picked up one apiece here. Let's see if any other kills can get confirmed in this battle royale. The beat is going to be dropped by Old Stoneface as they continue to fight on, but that is not going to stop Sammy G from taking out Rigel. The high noon from J-Prod taking out Lav, and this is chaos incarnate as it's going to be a nice defense coming in from the Redditors.
That was an absolute ult fiesta. 5 ults being popped on the side of the Redditors, but no ults being popped on the side of the Onibaku, which might have been a smart play, as this next fight might just bank on those 5.5 ults they have online. And from the looks of it, all the Redditors have is the Bunky Primal, but don't underestimate that ult, as Onibaku is heading to take the rotation once again to the fight room on the left side, but the Primal can actually do a lot of work here. And speaking of the Primal, it is popped.
Yeah, it is super pop. Blank is also nanoed as well, and now he's going to be ripping off of that shirt. A big boop will actually get him out of that sleep. That might have been a miss opportunity there by Dr. Sensible, but the fight continues on with all the kills coming in red. Great job by Onibaku to get back into the points. He's taking out Old Stone Face, and it's not looking good. Dr. Sensible is going to opt to drop the mines. Does take out Laugh, but Dr. Sensible will die in their place. And this is going to be a nice flip over, very similar to what we saw on first point.
Blank actually got booped off the map by Dr. Sensible after waking up. That definitely was unfortunate. I mean, both monkeys had their primals roaring, and I feel like Blank could have gotten at least a few more picks there, but it did not matter as the Onibaku still won that fight. And here they're back for a rematch as 2 picks already up for the Redditors.
Yeah, big picks by JProd and Dr. Sensible to take the TPS out of the fight, and this has got Redditors again all over it, and they take Lijiang Tower 2-0.
I mean, that was an intense matchup there. The Redditors playing at a different pace. I mean, we've seen this before where the Redditors just play fast, right? They use that Lucio speed boost to its maximum potential, especially combo with Stein's antis. Like, you can't really do much about it once your anti and the entirety of their team is rushing onto you. And here we can actually see the effects of that speed boost helping Rigel get in there with that microwave beam, taking out 3 in that play of the game. Cards all red here for the side of the Onibaku, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all know purple is the new green, and green means go. So you see your enemies and they're purple, that's go time, baby. And that's what it's all about. And that's why Stein is such just a dominant Ana player and just very scary DPS player all around. So Onibaku's got to find their rhythm here and how they want to deal with all these players. It was interesting to see that with Rigel on the Echo, there was no counter that I saw that for Rigel on that aerial support, right? I believe Samiji was on the Pharah and Shogun Rez was on the Reaper. So there was no real contention here, but Rigel wasn't really the threat here. It was JProd taking out Sammy G and Lav and Blank even in a lot of those fights. But let's see what we have in Hanamura.
I mean, definitely, but with Shogun and Sammy both going on to like tank buster kind of DPS, it allowed for Rigel to kind of stay up in the air, and despite not getting many picks, he definitely put the damage and pressure when needed, allowing JProd to get those nice and easy head taps. I mean, JProd is not a DPS to be messed with. I believe 90% of his kills in the kill feed were just all headshots.
Oh, it's just red. That little arrow,
yeah.
that's
it doesn't,
blood red.
Yeah, it's not headshots, just the blood of his enemies on the arrows. But yeah, and as I think the teams are going to switch sides here before we head on to the next map. I don't know if they actually chose Hanamura, if it's just a random select from
from what's left over.
Yeah, from what's left over.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I haven't really seen Hanamura all that much in the tournament. Maybe a few matches. I remember losing a few matches to teams in Hanamura.
I mean, now that we actually have a choice of maps, 2CP isn't the most popular choice.
It is not. If you've known myself or Blank, we go off on a myriad of tangents, most of them including the words 2 and CP, and absolutely despising it. But it looks like ours are in chat, and we are going to be heading over to Hanamura.
1 second, real quick. I believe we do swap sides in between every single map. Oh no, since last was a control center.
It was a control, right?
Yes. My brain is not as large as everyone else here, so it does take me a second to think. But yeah, definitely. I mean, Hanamura is a lot of people dislike the map, but I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to have an opinion on this, as I do play the 2 characters that are from this map. But it is definitely a map I enjoy playing a lot. Maybe not in comp, but in a situation like a tournament, I definitely do love to play.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Oh, if you can play one of the thematic Shimano brothers, it just feels great. It just feels right.
I mean, yeah, it is our home. But I mean, as we load into the maps, I mean, I'd love to see what kind of picks come out here, as Hanamura are not really the most traditional in terms of hero picks. People often just go on a limb and just run a Mei here, but quite honestly, anything works on Hanamura.
Ready for
And
battle.
speaking of anything working, we have the stim strat coming out here on the Onibaku's attack, which might be
And
the,
as well as the Symmetra, sorry, the Symmetra, the oh my god, what's her name? The spy,
Sombra.
the Sombra. I was like SSS. What's the word here? The Sombra of Shogun Raz. And yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they play it out.
I'm mostly excited to see what's happening with the tank line of Onibaku, as Blank is now on the Riot and Deckham is on the Monkey, or now on the Diva.
Okay,
Which,
now we've got some swap ups here.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit concerned there for a second when I saw a Ryan Monkey, but Blank not on the Monkey.
3,
And we
We've
also
definitely got some
Shogun Raz
insane
has also swapped over to the Widow for some opening picks here. Let's see if anything can come out of it. Rigel trying to get some early sticky bomb damage in without too much success, but I'm sure with all that aerial superiority coming in, it will not be into question anymore. Like leading the charge here, taking the teleport all the way across, setting up in by the bell. Big hook from Zoroaster onto Lab will take him out of the fight. That is the first pick here as Blank gets a bit of revenge onto Rigel. So how dare you throw those sticky bombs in? Another hook and D-Mech coming from Zoroaster. Another big purple. Oh my goodness, from Stein. And the tank line is going to have to back up a little bit as Zoroaster has decapitated Deckham with a bullet to the brain. And they're just setting up. They do have one tick here, so that is going in their favor. Not too much happening as well as the immortality field is dropped. They're just sustaining on point.
I mean, but to be fair here, they do have the respawn advantage, which is, which on a map like Hanamura comes into play a lot. And the Onibaku come to stick onto the side. Oh my, the shatter from Blank!
Yeah, the shatter was committed, but the nano is deployed there onto Zoroaster, and Dr. Sensible returns as the ball himself, the egg-laying hamster as we now know him to be. And Zoroaster is, oh my god, he did get the kill onto Deckham with the whole hog. I'm not sure if that was worth it in that regard. Oh my god, Zoroaster!
Oh,
I'm sorry, chat wasn't
no.
able to see that, but Zoroaster spotted out Shogun Raz just hiding by the Mega on the top left there. And that was very interesting.
Shogun had some massive hacks here, including the one onto Raija, which allowed Blank to get the little swing onto him. But later on in that fight, oh my, the hooks from Zoro. He has to calm down.
Yeah, absolutely legendary. Here comes the window as well. Sammy G taking out Dr.
another.
Sensible. That is going to be their opening pick, but the the Coalescence is going to be coming up, but that's not going to stop. Sammy G 123 taking out Old Stoneface, getting rid of that Coalescence. Rigel sitting up top, and the rest of Onibaku are going to be taking the little right-hand tour coming across the high noon from J-Prod. Will it find it? Zoning ult incoming. Will it do it? Yes, it finds DC Hammer. One healer down in this attempt here on Hanamura, and will they get that second tick? Ooh, just barely. No.
Oh, no.
No,
That
Dr.
could be
Sensible.
so unfortunate.
Yeah, Dr.
Yep.
Sensible came just back in the nick of time, and Deckham is going to get demeched and have to back off here. Let's see if
Yep.
he can get some get remeched at all.
I mean, some ults coming up from both sides, but I don't know if you saw that, but as the high noon was popped, Stein got the anti, and Dr. Sensible managed to boop out 2 or 3 of the members of the Onibaku into J-Prod's LOS, allowing him to get a kill onto DC Hammer, which was absolutely amazing to see. Some legendary amounts of team coordination coming out here from the Redditors.
Yeah, hack and bomb coming through. Big one from Deckham, finding both healers. This is their target audience right now, getting those healers off the field. But J-Prod finding 2 picks as well in the back. 1 healer, 1 DPS, both down. Lab though, taking out J-Prod. He wants that revenge to get them out of there. Rigel gets incredibly decimated out of his duplicate on that Echo as well. And it's just Dr. Sensible left back here on the point, and he might get stuck here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and, the stun from Sam is definitely finishing off Dr. Sensible, but the Redditors are going to have the fast respawn coming onto second point here, as they have gone back to their Sig Hog setup on this top left high ground. But the Onibaku have 4 ults and
What a hook! Oh my goodness, what a hook by
God.
Zoroaster. I swear to God that went through the shield. I'm not even kidding you guys. I thought that went through the shield, but what do I know? I'm just a silly caster who knows
The
nothing.
needle is Zoroaster, but Shogun is on point already. Kind of
Yeah, I can see him there. Oh my goodness.
he's just backcapping, but Stein catches him out, and oh, that's a bunch of Yuto out from the side of the Redditors, but they do manage to catch the back cap. It would be quite unfortunate. They got back cap there.
Big hammer!
In here from Blank does not gets half blocked by Dr. Sensible, but unfortunately Zoroaster hits the ground.
Oh, what a sleep!
Ooh, what
a sleep! Holy smokes! Shogunrai is on the point just to try to get everyone out of here, but Dr. Sensible takes care of him. And the high ground is belonging to the team of Onibaku. There's still someone in this as Lab taking out J-Prod, but unfortunately Zoroaster with a big punch from the Pigman himself, taking out Sammy G. The window is alive, but it's in a little precarious situation. Zoroaster that hog is just doing so much work as he finished off Lab. Will he be able to finish off with it? He takes a big haul out of his health vein. They'll be able to settle in here and defend the second point here on Hanamura.
I mean, honestly, on the side of Onibaku, Shogun's getting a bunch of big hacks here, but I feel like the rest of the team is just not able to capitalize on these hacks, especially because I just don't think they're able to get into position, especially with the pressure from both Dr. Sensible and Zoroaster. I mean, those hooks and rocks are definitely nothing to mess with. I caught some of them firsthand in OESL, and let me tell you, the metallic taste of that rock does not taste good. But Shogun is a bit of on a flank here.
Yeah.
Another hack, it seems like.
Prophetic Flux is coming out of Dr. Sensible, but he gets right hacked out of it. It's not going to stop him from killing Sammy G. 1, 2, 3. Blank does take out Stein with a nice fire strike as the fight continues on. The high ground belonging to Onibaku. That is going to be diving into the DPS. He wants to get some damage onto these characters, these heroes that are calling Hanamura home. But the fight continues on as Dr. Sensible is going to be on the point. That Onibaku, are they going to be coming in here? Big rock block there by Blank as well. Then here comes the hack from Shogun Raz as the fight continues on. The Bob is committed to high noon from J-Prod finds DC Hammer. Coalescence going on through Zoroaster with the whole hog in the back. The Bob, everything is being committed here with 48 seconds left to go. One more team fight, I believe, is in the books.
I believe this next team fight has to be the Onibakus. They definitely have the ult advantage here. But it's all about how they play out this next fight. Stein only has his nano to combat, 3 ults coming up on the side of the Onibaku. But I don't know if you noticed this, but the EMP Diva Bomb just got screwed up by just a smidge, as Decum's Diva Bomb just barely hit the edge of that little, I don't know what it is, that little ledge on top of point, above the 2 swords of the Shimada family. And that just caused the Diva Bomb not to be an LOX of any of the Redditors.
Yeah, Nano is committed there onto Zoroaster, and he's already at his primal. He just switched over. Oh my goodness, Cool Reds, this is incredible. The high noon from Sammy gets canceled by the big swinging arm, but a big sleep is going to be loaded onto Zoroaster, but it won't be enough as it looks like this is going in the favor of the Redditors. Unfortunately, Decum is going to be taken out by J-Prod, some bullets to the head. What an incredible defense coming out from the Redditors.
I guess
Holy
that Nano was
smokes.
all they needed, Druid. That cleave damage from the monkey was insane. That was like a 15-second primal.
Yeah, it was incredible. So Zoroaster dove in there, just started zapping away. The nano gets deployed, and I just watched that number, that percentage, just roll up like a fruit by the foot. It just all the way up. Incredible.
I needed 144 hertz of monitor just to see the numbers tick up that fast. And I'm gonna be honest, on my 60 hertz, I did not see anything. I just saw a 0% to 100. That's insane. I think he was at like what 16% ult, and then I look away and I look back, and he just has it.
And right there on the screen, you're going to be seeing the Shimada sword. What a legendary piece. Always reminds me of the Masamune here from Chrono Trigger. I am that old, and I love that game. So no. you can shove it. Great game, great sword. The Shimada one is also as good.
And right beside it, you do see the members of the Redditors kind of funneling in with their picks. But Dr. Ice does agree with you. He does enjoy the well. But the Redditors, Ryo previously on the Echo has swapped over to the Widow, which might be something that just might be a thorn in the Onibaku's plans to defend this point.
Yeah, let's see how Onibaku wants to defend this. In a nice swap here, we've got Shogun Rise on the Ashe and Sammy G on the Echo as well. So they've got a bit of surf and turf going on here as land and sea are going to be combined here. Weird reference, but that's how it goes. Dr. Sensible is going to be rolling right onto point here. Decum is going to be following up here, but the rest of the team are trying to find what to do. Stein is kind of like left all alone by themselves as the fight continues on. No picks as of yet. the Ash of Shogun Rise is on the top. He's going to be dove in, and Shogun Rise taken out by Old Stone Face, and Lab will follow suit as well. And this one has got Redditors all over it. Big Purple as well coming in from Stein. Immortality Field saving just a little bit. J-Prod coming in clutch with a great set of kills as well to finish off the job.
What a clean dive coming out from the start of the Redditors. I mean, Zoro jumping at the perfect time, allowing both J-Prod and Raizo to get damage in, but most importantly, allowed Old Stone Face, who was still in the choke, to get a right click from across the map. Just a little bit of a boop coming out from the monkey jump. Just boop choking in the air, barely enough for Old Stone Face to see his head. And that's all he needed to see as it put Shogun Rise straight down. But,
Yeah, Zoroaster already on the point. Putting on that pressure here. Dr. Sensible as well is going to be joining him. Immortality Field is out for safety's sake, as Zoroaster is just doing so much damage. Rigel and Stein both picking up kills here in the back, and here comes the giant swinging monkey arms of Zoroaster, and I believe that is going to be it. A very dominant performance by the Redditors.
I mean, I feel bad for the backline of the Onibaku. There's nothing the Onibaku can really do but sacrifice their backline in a situation like that where they have such a hard dive. I mean, both supports being pressured right off the bat before they're even positioned. Like, it's definitely something to deal with. And here we see Zoroaster with that no charge, 39%, dives in, already at 90, at 100, gets a pick, and then just goes in with those monkey arms. The high knee move isn't nothing to stop him as he just swings away.
And they had beat as well.
Yeah, the beat,
that was remarkable.
Oh my. And here we see Zoro's hog card, which unbelievably got so many early picks there on that defense. Like, it's so hard to break through a defense when you're just getting first one man down every single fight, and Zoro just managed to do it. Some of those hooks were just barely making it through.
Absolutely.
And some of the Redditors calling for a bio break here.
A bit of a buy break. This will give us a chance to remind everyone what this tournament is. This is Overwatch for Charity, nonprofit organization. I don't think it's actually an organization, regardless, but teams fight. sorry, Dr. Ice, I heard you laughing there, but it's a tournament, Overwatch tournament, where teams are playing for a charity of their choice, and the winning team and I believe second place team get a portion of the pot, and they donate it to their charity. So let's remind everyone that the Redditors are playing for Fetch and Release, and Onibaku is playing for Juliet's Place. So great causes. Again, check out the Discord where you can see all of this stuff. Links in below. And if you want to donate to this pot, all you have to do is use / charity, and you'll be able to get all that information. You'll get a nice juicy shout out from myself or Cool Hand Root. Cool Ranch 101.
In our friend group.
Just a lot of cool people here. What can I say?
Yeah, but speaking of cool people, we have to get to the stats of the amazing players on both teams here. And what stats do we have? Let me check that out real fast. On the side of the Redditors, we have Stein's Ana stats here with about 44 minutes played. And oh my, the amount of healing. But actually, before, let's take a quick dive into Deckham's stats. Deckham, notably on the hog. I'm sorry for the confusion there, Dr. Rice. I saw you switch over to that stab on stream, so I decided to go there first. Yeah. Back onto Deckham's stats with only 22 minutes played on this hog, but definitely a hog to be scared of, as in those 22 minutes, every 10 minutes he's been dealing about 11,000 damage with 47 elims. 47 elims every 10 minutes. That's about what, 97 elims over the total play time? Absolutely insane, remarkable. With only 4 deaths. Think about that, 47 elims with 4 deaths, that's over a 10.0 KD. And with 7,500 damage blocked per 10.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the Deckham hog stats and the Zoroaster stats as well, just as a comparison, because Zoroaster was just unbelievable on that hog.
I mean, Deckham didn't play much hog in this series, at least so far. Deckham is usually on the hog, but like, recently has been switching a lot more over to the D.Va and the Zarya, as I guess it fits more of the team's coordinated style of gameplay that the Onibaku are going for.
I'll be right back.
Alright, don't even worry about it. I'll continue going over the stats alone, as I usually do. And let's swap over to the Redditor stats here as we have Stein on this Ana, an absolute menace as we've just seen, landing amazing sleep darts left, right, and center, with over 12,000 healing per 10 and 28 elims per 10 as well. But don't count out those antis as he has 26.6 offensive assists per 10, which honestly is just such a high number. Getting antis in left, right, and center, and don't even count out those sleep darts because every single high noon you have is going to get slept by this man. But he has a staggering 8.4 deaths per minute, which is honestly, as someone who plays a fair bit of support, is understandable. But with 44 minutes played on the hero, Stein is an absolute a menace to be reckoned with. But as the teams are readying up, we're loading into our next match here on King's Row. A bit of a side swap here, as the Redditors are now on the red side and the Onibaku on the defending blue side. Yeah, 14 seconds to go as the two teams are both selecting their heroes. The Onibaku have to pull something out here if they really want to get a win under their belt. What do you say, Blank? Or what do you say, Druid? Sorry, my bad.
That's quite all right.
I called Blank Druid on this map yesterday, and I called Druid Blank on this map today. I am having a bit of trouble keeping.
It's quite all right. I usually in these sorts of times I like to blame the weather, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, whether it's just really nice out.
It's just too bright. The sun's in my eyes. I cannot deal with it.
Yeah, so this is what we like to call Scrim's Row as well. It's a loved and cherished map here, and it's interesting. We usually see a lot of Ryan Zarya as well in pugs, in tournaments, and all that. But Deckham is going to be rocking that diva as support here for Blank. So this is something that they're going to have to play with, and Shogunrez on that Sombra as well. So they're going to be somewhat down a mana fight, but let's see what they decide to do with this.
I mean, as of recently, I've been noticing a lot more Diva in the meta instead of Zarya, just because Diva can get a lot more of that poke damage, whereas Zarya is mainly the only the only advantage she has over a Diva is just the beam blockage and like the melee blockage. Which
yeah, Dr. Sensible dropping big purple coming in here from DC Hammer, and that is going to delete Dr. Sensible as Sammy G also picking up Rigel. So this is going to be another attempt here, and J-Prod is on that Widow as well. Just about 8 of Fire Strike as well, about half health, but they're going to pick up some health from their teammates. It's a ground dwelling Widow, so that's something to take in.
Yeah, but even though the J-Prod is a ground dwelling, we're definitely a force to be reckoned with, as we've seen over the past few days. J-Prod Widow does not leave any heads open. Put a big hack onto Zoro, so we'll open up this next fight. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen this next fight.
Oh, Sammy G!
Oh my, the damage coming in here from the side of the Onibaku gets 2 picks and a D-Mech onto Dr. Sensible. And that's gonna call a retreat from the side of the Redditors. Yeah,
Rigel gets also caught out by Deckham on the top rung there. And a great defense so far coming into Onibaku, as they gotta change this momentum that the Redditors have really bestowed upon them. And they're doing a great job here so far. But let's see how this second attempt goes, as now we're getting some ults coming online for both the teams.
I mean, Redditors, a team famously not known for hold on to any ults, and as I say that, Zoroaster already popping the ult. Primal taking out Shogunrez, but the Hyman from Sammy G will take out Rigel. This fight is absolutely storming with a bunch of ults here. Won't you say to it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, now Zoroaster back on point on that monkey, but the big res onto Shogunrez from Xiao as well. In the back, it's going to be Zoroaster nanoed and shattered and then slept. They're going to just let that sitting monkey just get hacked as well. Oh my goodness, you got to feel bad. Holy smokes. As every
sleep, hack,
yeah,
and flash. Oh no.
Every CC in the game that could have possibly happened to Zoroaster happened to Zoroaster. So enjoy that. So Old Stoneface does have his ultimate online. J-Prod is swapped over to the Genji. J-Prod's a very, very prominent Genji player, so keep an eye out for those blades, with also being the recipient of the nanos as well from Stein. Here comes the nano, the hack as well. Let's go. Deckham finding 2 into that. Sorry, I meant nano. I meant the Sombra hack and the Diva Bomb. My goodness.
I mean, it's all right, as there's so many ults coming out on the field here from the side of Onibaku. But as I was about to mention, they have to, if they wanted to EMP, they had to get Old Stone Face and else was going to transit, but Diva Bomb does not care about transit. So I think Old Stone Face made the right move in holding on to it there.
Absolutely. Here comes the dive in from Zoroaster and the charge from Deckham as well, but he does get demexed, so the fight continues on. DC Hammer taking out J-Prod all the way in the back with a big, juicy canister of purple. Here comes the duplicate from Rigel charging Reinhardt, and it looks like the Redditors will be able to take over this point as the kills go in their favor and the point flips over.
I mean, just
Oh, big charge kill on Sammy G. Oh no.
Before, the Redditors do not like to hold on to ults. They build them and they use them just as fast. And we can see a prime example of that as Rago, as soon as the ult came online, just pops it. But now Redditors have 5 ults in this upcoming fight, whereas the Onibaku really only have that Nano and that High Noon to bank off of. They might be trying to layer some ults here. They're gonna have to layer some ults here actually to build up a few more, as Shao is now onto the Brig, which means they're going to have another ult that's reset back to 0%.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's see what sort of value Sammy G can get out of that High Noon as well, with especially the Genji. He's got to watch out for that deflect, and Rigel as well. Rigel can come in with that focus beam and just delete anyone, even though he's, you know, McCree's got an extra bit of health. Deck gets demeched as well. Here comes the High Noon taking J-Prod. We were just talking about, I'm not sure if it was a curse. I'm not sure what that was, but here comes the swinging, raging monkey of Zoroaster, trying to just boot people away. Don't forget about Dr. Sensible, and the rest of the crew are just pulling that cart all the way around. Shao gets the final pick onto Zoroaster as the fight continues on. Here comes the Graviton Surge. Everyone's stuck into it. Sign taking out Shao in all the chaos. Let's see anything else. The Transcendence from Old Stoneface is out. Here comes the bomb as well in the back. It'll find Rigel. And the fight continues on as J-Prod taking out DC Hammer, and it's just blank all of itself. Oh, very close to a remech kill, but Deckham is going to be taken out, and eventually the fight will go in the Redditors' favor.
Poor J-Prod. He had the Nano Blade on him, and the Reflect going out for Sammy G's High Noon. But Shao takes matters into their own hands and just shield bashes them. I mean, honestly, as a reflecting Genji, a shield bash on a rock is just about the only thing you don't want to see.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, J-Prod was faced with a bash straight to the face.
Oh, Shogun Raz taking out Zoroaster very, very quickly. Blank is purpled a little bit. He'll eventually be cured of his ailments and eventually topped up as well. Rigel is going to be taking the high ground and Stein doing such a great job keeping everyone alive, but the Shatter is going to be coming in just barely missed that sleep on the team, and this is going to be a nice defense coming in from Onibaku.
The Redditors backing up. Rigel decides to get a tactical reset here, but the Redditors, I feel like, aren't just gonna save up for another ult Fiesta as they have in the past, where they already have 4 ults online. Might as well make that 6. And
Genji Blade coming in. Let's see if anything happens to this. Sammy G is going to be taken out by the first swing, as well as Shogun Red. He did have that Blossom ready. Here comes the Nano onto Blake. He does get slept. He wakes up very, very quickly. The rally from Shao is alive and in charge. Deckham taking out J-Prod for revenge for his fallen comrades. Big Purple on to Dr. Sensible, and this is going to be another defense coming in for Onibaku with 1 minute and 39 seconds left on the clock.
J-Prod definitely dodging, like completely just bobbing and weaving around Shao's bash, but is still caught up in the end. But like these Genjis are just not getting enough value, especially with the
Shogun coming in with the Blossom. Does find Stein. But Stein with the fadeaway sleep, unfortunately his life was forsaken for his sins. Fight continues on, and looks like it's going to be another tactical reset with 1 minute left. They want Stein into that fight. They want him to build up his Nano, as well as getting those big, juicy purple nades on to Onibaku.
I mean, yeah, both, like, look at the ults online here, Druid. They're just stacked, and
oh, that's gonna be it. That's starting out. Oh, big hammer! Transcendence coming online. High Noon from Sammy G. 123 taking out J-Prod. The fight continues on. The counter shatter's coming in. Big purple here from Stein, but the fadeaway from Shogun will keep him alive. Deckham does find Rigel in all of the chaos. Shogun in the back, but unfortunately gets taken out by Stein. The fight continues on. The cart is being pushed all the way through. Only 4 members of Onibaku are left to defend here. Lots of shields between Shao and Blank, but the Nano is going to be deployed onto the tank of Zoroaster. Graviton Surge from Deckham all the way in the back. Let's see if anything can come out of it. Unfortunately, no. He only finds Old Stoneface, and the kill feed is all red. And the duplicate coming in as well. Shogun is the last person left online, and Rigel will be taking him out here. Can they get back onto the point?
even with the opening pick the Redditors had was what ended up making the difference here. As oh no, Sammy G takes out Rido to get mid Blossom. But unfortunately, the ultimates are not what's dictating these fights. In fact, the opening picks are getting without the ultimates as Blank's body just goes flying out of the way. Oh, poor Blank. And the celebratory blade coming out there from J-Prod, swinging around and about that payload. Honestly, a lot of these fights have been dictated by the opening picks instead of the ultimates, which is insane considering the amount of ultimates that have been popped almost every single fight there.
Absolutely.
What a match.
What a match. And they also took it to overtime, so this is only going to be working in their favor.
Yeah, with 20 seconds to assemble their teams, I feel like the Redditors don't have to either they're gonna have to defend this really well unless they want to take this to a draw type of deal. But they still both sides do have a lot of hope for this upcoming round, as that round was very close.
Very close.
Both sides having, the Onibaku having a for a lot of the round. For the Redditors, once they get their rhythm kind of going, once they have that aggression going, there's nothing the Onibaku can do to stop them. And Sammy G now back on the Pharah, which we haven't seen in about a game or so. But yeah, as both sides selected heroes, we see some interesting picks here. Old Stoneface on the Moira this time, as Redditors are running a double shield style comp with both the Ryan and the Sigma, and the Onibaku going on the classic Ryan Zarya that King Joe is all well known and loved for. Shogun is on that Hondo just to complement the Grav just a bit more with those dragons. But honestly, I'm really excited to see what kind of ultimate combos come out online here. As J-Prod swapping over to the McCree, but that's gonna be a bit late. As just
a little last minute.
And both teams on their defense having last second swaps. But J-Prod I think is gonna make it back. Yep, making it back just in time before the round starts, or just before the fight starts here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a walk of shame too. You get picked first, and then you have to walk back to your point. But the fight starts breaking out, and it looks like they're going to be going through Hotel. Onibaku wants a bit of revenge. They want to win this fight. They want to stay in this tournament. They want to go to the finals. They want to take on the Hamster team, because they lay eggs. I forget their team name. Oh my goodness. But Stein, taking out Sammy G. Nice rest coming from DC Hammer, but it won't be enough as J-Prod and Rigel are just doing all sorts of damage.
I mean, oh my, the Redditors are not here to play. They're definitely here to win. They want to book that ticket to the finals, versing off against the Hubris Hamsters, the team name.
That's the one.
Yeah, the hamsters laying eggs, as Druids used to call it.
We don't know for sure that they don't, so.
That is fair. That is fair. 3 minutes left on the clock for the Onibaku to make this attack work, as they are once again rotating through the hotel. Let's see what goes on in this fight, as both Ryans are knocked on the ground.
Yeah, Shogun with a nice opening pick onto Stein, but J-Prod finding Sammy G, and looks like Rigel is going to be trying to take out this Mercy, and they do. Rigel finishing off Xiao, but it looks like a bit of a role reversal here as the rest of the team have taken over, and Dr. Sensible is going to be committing the Gravitic Flux rather. And yeah, that is going to be it for this team fight. Blank has to back up. He doesn't want to get picked off too late. He's going to keep that shield up.
Quite honestly, the Redditors could have won that fight, no excuse, as J-Prod and Rigel picked off both the Pharah and the Mercy before the fight even really got into the depths. But Dr. Sensible opted to commit that flux, which didn't get any value, it seems. But regardless, the Redditors have a bunch of ults online still. Speaking of ults, there's a Nano Ryan that has shattered the front line of the Onibaku.
Big shatter by Blank does find Zoroaster, and DC Hammer finishes off the job, but the coalescence here from Old Stoneface is going to take out DC Hammer for all of it. But Xiao finishing off Dr. Sensible. This is looking much better here for Onibaku. Dekum finding out Old Stoneface with one of those Zarya beam bubble gun things that they have.
Yeah, one of those doodads.
It's like a particle beam gun.
Particle cannon, I think.
Particle cannon. Okay, I thought so.
It's not something along those lines. It's been a while.
Grade 10 science is really paying off for me.
But a grade 10 science is what Zoroaster should have taken, as he does fall to that whip shot. Maybe if he calculated the velocity of that whip shot, he wouldn't have gone in. But the Onibaku definitely taking advantage of that Ryan down for the side of the Redditors, and they're pushing up really far here. But not opting to go to the spawn, as most teams would. The Redditors are just taking this weird little defensive angle, just kind of splitting off into their weird little off angles. I mean, off angling is what Dr. Sensible is known for, as he really showed, at least the quarantine is what I know, the off angle. But Shogun Raz Oh my.
Yeah,
Give
that's a-
Old a break as the log to the face comes in.
Yeah, big opening pick for this team fight in the street space as it continues on. Dr. Sensible is on that high ground, but he will reconnect for his other friends as J-Prod gets a nice high noon kill onto Shogun Rad. The fight continues on as a charge incoming. Another Graviton Surge, or Gravitic Flux rather, is coming in from Dr. Sensible, taking out Blank, and how the turntables as Onibaku have to back up and reconnect here.
There's just so much gravity in this game that it's a bit hard to get the ults right, but definitely that was the right decision I feel like from Dr. Sensible to be before on that off angle and then reconnecting with this team just to get that massive flash into flux combo, which most people don't really use as an advantage, but the flash does cancel any horizontal momentum that caused everyone that was already in the Gravitic Flux.
Graviton Surge, Dragons coming through, but Zoroaster taking out 2 in the back. Where was he even?
God.
Oh no, that is so unfortunate. And the duplicate coming out from Rigel as well with that rally, that was unstoppable. I didn't even get eyes on Zoroaster, but he was all the way behind. Oh my goodness.
It's like the actual Zoroaster just appearing behind the enemy without a second's notice. Really living up to his name. I mean, if flashbacks are a thing, I'd say I'd be getting some right now from the OESL finals this last season, where Zoroaster always in the backline. But
oh no, Blank.
Oh no, Blank is taken out early in this upcoming fight, which forces the retreat of the Onibaku here. They do have the rally pop, but you know that Blank going down that early kind of nullifies the effect of that rally. But,
absolutely.
they're still doing really well in terms of ult banks here. At least the Onibaku are still up, what, like 4 ults here? But, sorry, no,
yeah,
3 ults.
here comes the window. The window's going to be coming up, but Dr. Sensible is going to absorb a lot of that extra damage coming in, getting that extra health just for a little bit. They start pushing the car around the chicane, but here comes the nano onto Zoroaster. Immortality Field is deployed, but the hammer here from Blank is massive, finding 4 on the floor, but unfortunately it won't be enough as Rigel's taking out Samiji. The high noon from J-Prod is up and alive. Next though, taking out Rigel, another Gravitic Flux rather, and Blank is going to be out of the fight, and this is another great defense coming in from the Redditors.
These fights are just being ended so fast. It's almost like they haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
The ultimates are being used like as an engage tool so often to the point where the engage is all they have. It's the engage and then the fight is done. There is no mid fight, there is no end. It is just the engage and then it's all over here. But Samiji now on this Genji, which might help which you know, if you can kill the blade here and get a few picks, that might end up breaking this defensive hold that the Redditors have. But Blank on his signature monkey pick dives into the front line of the Redditors.
Yeah, they want to change it up a little bit. They got to watch out Rigel though in the back. The hammer though is big. Fire Strike killing DC Hammer, and the charge finishing on Defkin, and Rigel in the back. This is looking like it's close to being over with only 10 seconds left, and unfortunately the Onibaku do not look like they're going to be able to do it. The ball is going to be going through, but the charge from Zoroaster is massive as it'll take him off of the point, and that is going to be it.
No.
Redditors win here in Kings Row and take the series 3-0.
Oh my, what an unfortunate loss there. In so many fights it seemed like Onibaku had the upper hand, but small plays in the red, or not even small plays, I'd say some huge plays such as this backline shatter from Zoroaster completely reversed that fight. They were able to live through a grab dragon thanks to the immortality, and Zoroaster just kind of cleaned house after that.
Yeah.
Oh